is a test to see if I can stream through my iPhone, but it looks like I can't, and I'm dropping so many frames. So if you can hear something, I would just let you know that I have no internet today, and I don't know why, but it's something that is happening more or less all around in Florence. So lesson will be probably, hopefully, made tomorrow. I know it will be Saturday, but I mean, at least you won't lose your. It's better than make it next week, I think. So I think you can hear me. Just a try. I would like to see if I can also see the chat, but it takes forever because, as I said, I'm basically connected with my phone to the web, and I think quality is really bad. Also, as Lady should have written, to avoid really wasting time for today, you can watch the video that I've made today. Let's see. Okay, I am live streaming, and this I know. But I have dropped lot of frames. Let's see here if I can just open the chat. I mean, it is weird. Let's see. It is really taking forever to load, and it is very slow. Let's see. I mean, I just need to load the chat at least, and it. I think I can do it. I mean, it is painful to make a live stream like that. It is very bad. Let's see if I can just open the chat at least. Okay. So, just for curiosity, I can't, because if I stream, I can't watch myself also. But just for me, for curiosity, to let me understand if we can make the lesson like this or not. Can you hear me? But most important, can you see my screen or not? I'm just curious. Yes, really? No way. And with normal quality? No, really. So let me send a message to lady to tell her that she okay, really, that's fantastic. So just quickly, I'm sending a message to lady to. It was lagging. Lagging. I mean, look. I'm streaming with my phone, so lagging. It is the entire Florence. I mean, at least my area is without internet, and you complain about lag. Okay. Okay. In the meantime, do you have questions? Because I have one quick thing that I want to show you. Because Cosima sent me a file. And it was a very interesting thing to show you. Okay, let's see if this kind of setup will work. Let's see how much before I melt my phone, or I completely burn the entire gigabytes that I have in my line. So first simple thing was this. Look, your classmate sent me this file here, and I hope I have the original file that is into downloads. Should be this one, the original one, and I want to show you this very simple thing. First of all, it is a downloaded model, so we have no idea how it is made, and it looks pretty nice. Yes, I mean, it looks fantastic, I would say. Where is the problem? The problem is that when your classmate uses this object in a floor plan, the thing that happens is that, look, in 3D, no matter what I change into this viewing style, it works. And the moment I go into a floor plan, in the object itself, it works, okay? But then when she uses in a project, the object doesn't work anymore. So the thing that I have done to fix it is simply I have basically, by going to a 3D view, I have selected all objects that are basically grouped inside this armchair. And the only thing that I have done is, let's see if I remember exactly, I have to go to this. Look, I have selected all objects, so all solids inside the object. And there is something weird that I don't know why the person. First of all, good morning to everyone. I'm just explaining one simple thing that a student asked by mail, so that I also wait few more students to join. So what I was saying is this. I don't know why, by selecting all these solids, the person who has made these particular furniture has on purpose hidden the fact that this object correctly works in floor plan. And how can I see it? Simply because, look, I select all objects, and then because there are multiple objects, properties of all of them are a lot less, and there is just one interesting property that all object has, that is visibility. So I have to click edit and see this. It is on purpose unchecked to display the 3D view of this object in floor plan. And I don't know why. I don't know why the person who has made it as on purpose hidden this feature. So what I have to do to make this object working will be I have to set that the 3D view is correctly viewing even in floor plan, so that I click OK and I save. Yes, and I save now my updated family, so that, look, I just make a new project, and the problem that this object was having was that when let's say I make a wall, and when I make other thing like a floor, okay, and it happens this, when I am in floor plan, if I change my visual style, even my floor plan correctly changes its look according to this. The problem that that object had was this: by loading that component that is into downloads, so here, this one, and I place it here. So the problem that this object used to show was that no matter which style you change, the object was always displayed in floor plan only as 2D symbol. Now, by having also checked that I want to see it as a 3D, if I change the visual style of my floor plan, it also correctly works even this object. Okay? These things can happen when you download objects, because maybe the person who has made this knows that he will just make black and white floor plan, so simply to keep the file lighter, basically he has on purpose selected the fact that he is not interested in having colored furniture, so he wants to keep it as a 2D symbol. Fantastic, isn't it? And so if everything works before another catastrophe will happen to my internet, or before my phone dies, I want to show you what we have to learn today. That is, we need to learn how to be able to professionally and in a very interesting way, how we can print our projects. Okay? And this is made by using a technique. So let me open this file, even if no, let's open a new one that I haven't. This is still there. Perfect. So that this is just a project. Technically this is one of your midterm. So basically in Revit you can use a technique that is very similar to the one that in good morning to all of you, first of all. And for those who are connecting now, I'm starting basically now, so I will go fast, but I will cover whatever I have to cover. And I really apologize that I couldn't start at 11, but I had no internet, and I am actually streaming from my phone. Okay, so if the audio lags a little bit or stuff like this, be so nice, but I no other solutions. And and also just to be a community, if you know, or if you have numbers, WhatsApp, if you can text other classmates that are not online right now, because ladies sent the message like that today I couldn't do the live stream, be so nice to spam them and just let them know that I am able to. Okay. Yes, it was a problem in Florence. That the internet is more or less shut down in several blocks, and I don't know why. And so what I was saying, be so nice to call your classmates, spam them, use WhatsApp, Telegram, Instagram, whatever, tweet the fact that I am online, so that they won't miss this class. Okay. So, and what I was saying, I was saying this. What we have to learn today is how to make professionally looking tables ready to be printed. To make these in Revit, we have to use a procedure that, if you know AutoCAD, is something that in AutoCAD is very common, and in AutoCAD this is called layouts, making layouts. In Revit there is exact same technology, let's say exactly same infrastructure to make printable drawings. It's just not called layout, it is called sheets. So let me also open the pen software. So basically what we have is that when we work on our project and we use all these elements that are views, those are what in AutoCAD, let's say, is called the model space. In AutoCAD there is a second space that is called paper space. That is where you can add your title block, where you can add viewports, and you can have, let's say, one final drawing that has something like a floor plan, then the section, then maybe a picture, then some kind of text, and so on and so on. In Revit, the paper space is called sheets, and you will find these by scrolling down a little bit your menu down here, and you will find a folder down here that is called sheets. How this thing works? It's very simple. Basically, what you have to do is, you can see that this folder is empty, and you can see that it is empty because it has no plus symbol next to it. So what we have to do is we have to create new sheets in here, and another thing that we have to do is we need to understand what is the method that Revit uses to let us set the size of our sheets, and also the title block that is already available. So, step 1, when you want to make a new drawing, you have to right-click over Sheets, you have to click New Sheets, and here you have this dialog box that is simply giving you a first default choice between a known title block, so you just have a gigantic white empty space, or you can choose right now a title block, and also included in the title block there is the page size that is A1. But if we, let's say, we want to print into other formats, or just to let you understand what the title block is and how it works, we can click on Load. We go in our library folder, not Italian, let's use US so that it is written in English, and down almost at the end of our library we will find a folder called title blocks. Okay, so you open title blocks and you find that REVIT has preset title blocks that are with different paper size, and they also have different title block layouts. Okay? Till here? Let me know if you can find these things. Do you have them? Yes, no, maybe? Let me know. Please write me something into the chat so that I know that you are listening. Oh, finally. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. So, let's see this. First of all, let's choose one existing title block. We can customize it later on as we want, but we will just start with an existing one. So let's say I want A2, click OK, and I choose A2 metric to make my new beautiful empty drawing. And you will see these phenomenal things happening. That is, now in your Sheets family, you can see that there is a plus next to the folder, so it means that you can open it. And you can see that we are now on this view because it is highlighted in a bold text. And now this is our layout, basically. And the thing that we need to simply understand is this. The title block that we have loaded is not only a title block, so what it contains is, it contains this external rectangle that is basically our paper size. So this is the A2 size, the thing that says which area is good morning. So this basically says what we have to print. And in here we have to understand few things there are. The title block itself is basically just a 2D block that is made, believe it or not, with just 4 kind of different objects. So into the title block you find only shapes that are whatever is this line, this line, this line, these, those are shapes, but they are 2D shapes. Then you can find pictures, and you can see, for example, that there is one picture right now that is this logo here, that, by the way, is Autodesk logo, is not even our own logo. Then we have 2 categories of written objects that at the very first look they are looking the same while they are not, and we have text and labels. What is the difference? Difference is basically that text is pure plain text, so it's something that is written, it's something that is fixed, and if we want to edit, we have to edit the original title block, and we have to basically manipulate the title block, and whatever we change into text will affect all other title blocks that we have placed. While if we have labels, and for example the number of the drawing is a label, that is a dynamic text, so we can edit layout by layout, or for example the number is a dynamic text that changes according to the real order that we are creating our layouts. So the more drawing, the more layouts, the more sheets, to be precise, we create, the more this number will change. So we'll immediately see that the number will become 1, and then if you make a second one, it will be automatically called 2, and so on and so on. So before showing you how to place drawings inside your sheets in here, I want to show you how to edit the title block itself, because in here there are for sure some elements that we want to remove. So also, instead of starting from scratch, making a new title block, easier way to manipulate title blocks is to select the existing title block, and then by going to the Modify tab, we can click Edit this family. So for a second, we are not more in our architectural project, but we are actually editing our A2 metric title block. And we can see that by going inside the block itself, we can really realize that these are just lines. They are just 2D shapes. And, I mean, just for you to check, this is A2. A2 is 594 millimeters by 420. So let me see if it is right, because if I measure from here to here, boom, you can see that it is true. So outer rectangle is just my paper size. Inner rectangle is what is called technically safe frame, so my really printable area. And what I can do in here is I can start manipulating whatever I want inside my title block. For example, start from here. Am I a person from Autodesk? Of course not. So I don't want to leave the Autodesk logo in this title block. So the thing that I will do as a first adjustment into the title block will be I select the image, I hit delete from the keyboard, and I remove that picture. But I can have a logo, my own original beautiful logo. So what I will do is, let's say I have this picture that I've downloaded. This is not mine. It's just a simple free template. So let's say I crop it, maybe like this. Oops, a little bit too much. Okay. Let's say this is going to be my own logo, and I save it. Perfect. So what I can do is, inside my title block, that is where I am now, I can click Insert, I can click Image, and I will go to the desktop, and I will choose the picture that I have cropped right now, and I click Open. Boom! And I have my beautiful logo. Also, I'm placing it here for honestly, no real reason. I could place it, for example, instead of having all my informations on the side, I can move them on the bottom of the page. You're free to adjust the title block as you want. For example, I will change, instead of using this website, this is a text, as you may read from the properties. So I select the text, I left click once inside, and I will place my own website, or even better, I will put my Instagram, just in case. If you are not following me, this is right time to do it. But I don't like this empty space in here, so I will move these down here. I will move these down there, and maybe I can make my picture bigger, so I can really make my 2D, my beautiful 2D title block as I want. For example, I know that I have no consultant because I will work by myself, so these text, boom, they can be deleted. Or maybe I will instead edit them, and I will leave just one of them so that I can add more of my details. So how to contact me, my telephone, like I will write, of course this is not true. You thought I was giving my own real telephone number, the way where I have my studio, or let's use the school one, and so on. I can make it the paragraph bigger, so I can basically start adding more and more details. And for example, I will place details in here, so select this, move, I will move it up, and if I want to cut this section, I can go to create, and I can create lines, for example, and I will simply add a line in here, another line there, and exactly as I do with any other shape, I can split this line, and I can use trim to trim. Perfect, and then trim. Lovely. For example, okay, so I can modify. Just one last simple thing is, for example, in Italy, architects and engineers have a round stamp. So I can, for example, add. So I can go to create. I can add a text. And for example, here I will add something like stamp and sign for approval, just to understand what this field is about. And if I want, I can also change the look of the text so that I can select the text, I can change the type. Let's say I will make these 5 millimeters, or I can change the font, I can make it bold, I click apply. But this will change, like it changes walls, this will change all other texts that have the same style. So even in a simple 2D, I will set this back to 3 millimeters. Apply. Even here you can do something phenomenal, like you can duplicate, you can make a new text style that is called 5 millimeters bold, and you can make this new one. So I will make it 5, will make it bold, I will click OK, then I select these, and I will tell that instead of using the text style that is 3 millimeters, use the one that is called 5 millimeter bold, and it will just change this one. And because in Italy we have round stamps, for example, I create a line that technically just means shape, and I will just draw a circle. I should give the radius right dimensions, but more or less is correct. And I can make my own template. And last but not least, instead, are these fields. These fields are label. So what it means is that if you don't change them, they show you just the name of the label itself. But when you use them inside the project, they can be dynamically adjusted. So let's see what this means. Now I am happy with these, so I click load into the project and close. I don't want to save my original A2, so I click do you want to save? You click no. No, I have to click yes. No, what a mistake. Anyway, because I wanted to save as with another name, but it's okay. So now I have these. This is my layout. See these? These are text. So even if I left click, they are as like this. They don't change. These are labels instead. So what I can do with labels is I can select them. I can make one left click, and I can dynamically adjust what is written inside the label layout by layout. So I can have the owner, myself, project name, example. This is the table. It will be like for floor plans. Project number 1. Drawn by me. Checked by who else rather than me. Okay? And these instead are this instead is a label that will change automatically. Look, if I go again to sheets, I right click and I click new sheets and I use same title block, you will see something interesting. That is, my second title block has, first of all, everything that is looking similar to the previous one, so I get a consistent look to all my drawings. Certain fields are the same, so if I change the text into one, I will change the text in all of them. Certain fields, like the name of the drawing, the number of the drawing, the author, and the checked by, they can be adjusted drawing by drawing, as well as the scale, for example. Okay, so labels are dynamic text fields that you can edit as you please, or if you honestly don't need them into your layout, you can edit your layout. If you don't want, let's say, having project number and the date, because the date is written here, and check it by, I mean, just select, delete, select, delete. Whatever is not useful, you can delete it. Okay? You load into the project, overwrite, poof, and you will see that from all drawings that are using same title block, those informations has been removed. Okay? Till now? Because this is how to manage the title block itself. Now we have to finish by understanding how to add our model views inside our project. But till here, is it clear or not? Or you have questions about? Perfect. Perfect. Very nice. So, let's view now this, phenomenal way to add drawings. That is this. Now we have, if we want to create our own title block, in my honest opinion, the way to create a new title block is this. You go to your folder where is your library. There is always C, program data, Autodesk, RVT, and then the year of the REVIT that you're using. Go to the library that you use, find the title block that you want to start from, and an easier way to make a new title block is you select and you start by using this. Look, you copy and you paste a copy of an existing title block, you double click to open it, and if you want you can delete everything and start all over. So if you want to make, let's say, a vertical one, what I will do is I will start by deleting these shapes. So can I delete them? Are they pinned? Probably. Or it's okay. Let's delete these, for example. Then and I will change, for example, this. I will delete, oops, I will delete these, exactly. And then I will change, for example, the size. I want to make a vertical, what is this, A1, so these will become, let me remember, 840, perfect. These becomes 594, and for example this starts by being my new A1 that is completely empty. Inside here you can start by creating, for example, you can create frames like this. Completely up to you. Okay, you can place things in here. You can add, you can delete this line. You can make circles. You can draw things like that, where you will going to write your name, your logo, and whatsoever. Of course, yes, you can create. The easier way is by copying an existing title block and starting from there. Okay? Was it clear? Yes, it was. Perfect. These sheets can be printed as both JPEG and PDF. No. No, absolutely not. Because to print your drawing, you really need to print them with your installed printers. So if your printer has the possibility to print in PDF, yes. If you have a printer that prints in JPEG, yes, but not directly from AutoCAD, from Revit. If you want to print something that I will explain in 2 seconds, but I will explain it now. You have to go to File, you have to go to Print, you have to choose which printer you want to use, and let me laugh now, just a bit, because I want to show you that by having the official, original, 100% legal Adobe Creative Suite, I have my Adobe PDF printer. So this is these were A2, if I remember. So I can go to the properties of the printer, choosing the layout, advanced, paper size. Oh, how many paper size I have. I can choose A2, can click OK, and in this way I will print my A2 drawing into A2 format, and it will be PDF. Also, what Revit allows you to do when you print with virtual printers is that you need, not also because you can, but you should really check this option. Where's the pen? This option that is called combine multiple selected views or sheets into a single file, so that your presentation will be one PDF that will automatically contain all sheets, all pages of your project. And you can select down here which sheets you want to print. So you click selected view / sheets, you click select, and you simply tell that you want to print only the 2 sheets that I actually have right now. And if I click OK, yes, Okay. And if I click OK again, I will make one PDF that will be 2 pages inside automatically. Just one side note, that is, if you have not the Adobe PDF printer, you have 2 simple solutions to quickly print all of your Revit sheets into PDF. Option number one, Windows 10 has a PDF printer, but a bigger format that you can print with the Windows PDF printer is limited to A3. But this is for free, and it comes with Windows. Option number 2 is I don't want to open the website because it will slow down my connection, and because it is working, I don't want to risk. You can Google and you can look for, we'll just write it bigger, but you can look for a free alternative that is called, right here, Bull Zip Free, take care, PDF printer. You Google this and you will be able to have basically once that you install it and then you open Revit, you will see that by opening the menu of your available printers, you will see a new printer called Bullzip Free PDF, and then it works like the Adobe one, so you can have as many paper sizes that you want, and it will work as good as the Adobe. Okay? Yes? No? Tell me. But this is how to turn them into PDF. If you want to make to JPEG, open the PDF into Photoshop and save it as a JPEG. That's faster. Perfect! So, lovely. Very, very good. So now, let's see how to place views of our project inside the drawing itself. And this is not that hard. It works in this very simple way. There are and then there is one trick that I want to show you about this. There is something phenomenal. First of all, to add a view to your sheet, you have to right-click on the name of the drawing of the page, basically, and you have to use the option called Add View. Okay? By clicking Add View, you can choose between all these available views to be added inside your layouts. And if you see, look, I have one 3D view. They are listed by alphabetic order. Then there is elevation, east, north, south, west, floor plan 1 and 2, floor plan site, and then I have reflected ceiling plan level 1 and level 2. And basically the list that you have here perfectly matches the list of views that you have inside your project. So if I add the floor plan level 1 and I click Add View, I will add this view here. Okay? Now, this is not that nice, so I will fix it in a second. But basically, this is, if I go to level 1, this is exactly everything that I can see inside my level 1. Okay? And if you're trying to ask me, Marco, can we crop these? The answer is you could, but you shouldn't. And I will show you why. What you can do in REVIT to have a lot of flexibility and being able to create extremely interesting and complex looking drawings, not complex but complete, I would say, is you need to know that views from your views menu, they can be duplicated, and view by view you can have unique properties for a view. What it means is this. Look, instead of using just my level 1, there is a generic view that is showing me whatever I have in my floor plan. What I will do is this. I will delete it. And what I will do is I go first to my views. I select my level 1 and I right click on that. And I start by clicking duplicate view. And I go to duplicate and forget everything else, just click duplicate. So I start having a copy of my level 1, and I don't even like the name level 1 copy, so I right click on this duplicate and I use rename, and for example I will call this level 1 cropped. This is why, because if I want, look, imagine for example that we have another wall in here. But if I want, I can select my duplicate of the level 1, and from properties of the view itself, I can enable these options called crop view and annotation crop view and crop region visible. So whatever is crop, I select all these 3. And I get this rectangle that I can select and I can quickly modify so that I will crop just inner one at least, but I will crop the view itself. And I'm not deleting that wall that is in reality existing, because if I go to 3D, I have that wall. But I have now 2 copies of the level 1. Into my level 1 I can see everything. Into my level 1 cropped, I have cropped the view only where I really need. And I can add one slightly more interesting aspect into duplicating view. That is, I'm not limited into cropping views with different areas. I can also use duplicates of my views to give them different shading options as well as different visible categories. What it means? Look, for example, in my model, I want to add a bunch of furniture. Okay, and maybe I will use let's load another furniture like a chair. Furniture, sitting, this one, perfect. And I will put a lot of these chairs here, there, perfect, another one here. Okay, so now I have my beautiful model that has furniture as well. And I want to make in my drawing, I want to make a, and I can also look, I can go to annotate. No. Yes, I can click linear and I can start aligned, and I can put dimensions, for example. Okay, and I will put this dimension here on purpose on top of the table. So where is the problem? The problem is that when I make my floor plan drawing, it would be really bad having both furniture and dimensions visible at the same time. So what I can do is this. I can also duplicate again this view. I will rename it and I will call this one furniture. I will set, look, the quality fine. I will select realistic, why not, if it doesn't, shaded, and I have a color version of my floor plan, while I go back to my cropped, and I will call it, look, rename, and I will call it dimensions. And in this view, I will select one table, I will right click on it, and I will go to hide in view, and you can also now understand why hide is called hide in view, because if I hide the entire category of furniture, they will be hidden in this particular view that is called level 1 cropped dimensions, but in all other views my furniture are visible. Okay? So now that I understand that I can duplicate views, I have a huge variety of possibilities to create my layouts, because I can double click on floor plans again, I will right click, I will use add view, and now that I have added those two views, you can see that my menu shows me those two options. So I can use crop level 1 crop dimensions, and I will click add view to the sheets. I can repeat the process as many times that I want. Add view. Now I will add the one that is called cropped with furniture. And you will also see that it brings with it the shading and the level quality that I have set for that specific view. And last but not least, if your views are or floor plans, sections, elevations, so all orthographic drawings, or if they are 3D view, there are isometric views, you can easily select them, and from view scale, so from the property, you can immediately set at which scale you want that view to be. So in the same project, you can have, let's say, this view here, this view there. You can add another view, and you can add, let's say, a west elevation. Okay, because it is too big, I can change the scale. Let's say we'll make it 1 to 200. And if you select the view itself, there are just few things more that you can do. So if you select the view, you can also stretch this line that is the title of the view itself. Thing number one. Give me a second, then I will answer to this question. But let me finish this. Things that you can do with viewports are, you can crop the viewport itself, but can you see the difference between this elevation here and this floor plan? They are both cropped. There is one difference, that is, in this one, crop edges, crop region is not visible. In here I have this automatic rectangle that basically works as a frame for my drawing. But if I want, look, if I want, I can go to here, let's say, and maybe I would like to write something inside my project. So let's say here I would like to write this is the entrance. That is not actually, but this will overwrite the thing. So line weight, yes, I have just disabled line weight, but if I enable it again, look, it is there. It is only for me, for visual purpose, that when I make the video I have disabled, and it changes, yes, according to the scale. Okay. And last thing that I was showing, oops, sorry, is if you don't want instead edges all around your viewport, you can select the view itself, edit, go to the properties and uncheck second option only. If I want you to read it correctly, that is called crop region visible. So if you don't want the rectangle all around the drawing, just uncheck this option. And this will hide the cropping rectangle. While if you don't even want the title, because the title is here, and if you move the title, I mean, you can move it, but you can't delete it or change the look. If you don't want these, edit the type of the view and simply the option called show title, say no. And titles will go, or yes. And I think there are a few styles. No, nothing here. Okay, so or yes or no, boom. And if you want, you can also hide those elements. Okay, so is also the line weight clear as explanation, because line weight is there. You have just to set it like this. And this project has one terrible mistake here that I know. There are two walls, or this is the AutoCAD drawing that is behind. That is terrible. Okay. we have almost done. I just want to show you that in this way, and then I will, at the end, I will answer to the Cosima question, because she's asking how many plants slash sections slash renders, you forgot, slash elevations slash 3D view slash whatever else did you want us to show for our project, and I will answer this later in a second. So let me finish here, because I want to show you first, you can add at the same time, the same way that you add views, you can add views like sections. You can add this section, you can add this section, you can add cameras. So you can click next to 3D view, you can click cameras, and you can add a camera here. Okay, and whenever you do something like this, you basically add new views to your project, and all of these views are listed here now. Even the 3D view, look, you can select this 3D view, and this is one 3D view listed here. But as well as one 3D view, you can right click and you can start duplicating also your 3D view. So you can make this 3D view till here, and then you can crop it. If I want to make, oh, how lucky I am, so that I can make a 3D view that shows me just this side of the house. And for example, in this 3D view, I don't want to see these dashed lines that are levels, so I can right click and I can hide them into the view. Okay? In my second 3D view, I can make this with shaded, and I don't remember if I've already showed you, but probably yes. In 3D, we can also, instead of using crop, we can enable section box. And if we enable the section box, we can select this box, and we can basically have three-dimensional views that are also cutting our object. So I will change my section box like this, and for example, in this way I can see how many walls are wrong in this project. Oh my gosh, this is terrible. So attach, let's fix some of them. Just select these, attach, select the roof, select these, attach, roof. Woohoo! Glad that I have renamed this file Anonymous, because it had the name, so I know who did it. Okay, so I have another 3D copy. And what I can do here, I can make another section box. I will crop this, for example. I will crop the top, why not? And then this, and then that, and then I select these and I hide them in category. So the only problem is, and I can also hide the section box, because if not, you will see what happens. So now what you can see is that I have a lot of 3D views, a lot of level 1s, I can have a lot of sections. The only thing that I personally suggest is don't leave these names as they are, like 3D, 3D1, 3D, 3D1, because it makes no sense. I highly suggest to right click and to rename all these views to let you understand what they are. You can leave 3D next to the name at least, but for example, you can make this like just isometric. You can have your, I don't like, so rename it and you call it isometric. You call this one, okay, this is color section. This is black and white top section. This 3D view 1 is the camera, so you can rename it and this will be camera stairs, so that you have an idea of what your views are. And this is why, because when you go to your page and you right click and you click add view, you have only the possibility to read the name of your view, okay? And another thing that you need to know is that when you add views to a sheet, those views can't be used multiple times in multiple sheets. So you can see, for example, that in this one I have already used elevation west, floor plan cropped with furniture, floor plan cropped with dimension. So I have already used these views. When I go to my second page and I add view, you can see that those floor plan level 1 cropped and floor plan level 1 cropped with furniture, they are not listed. So you won't find them anymore, and if you need to have the same drawing into multiple pages, you have just to duplicate the view as well. Okay, so for example, I will add the camera here and I will show you something fantastic. I will finish this, add view, another 3D, the isometric, perfect. And what else? There is another 3D view, color section. I will place it here for now. So look the difference between all these viewports. This is a 3D view and it is showing me colors, fine, section box, fine, but it is also showing me levels and the section box itself. This is why in here, instead in this view, I have hidden those elements. But if I want, look, I can still do it. I just need to open these from views. So, color section, I select these elements, right click, hide in view the entire categories. So I hide them into the original view. I go to my page, boom, they are gone, and even the cropping area is gone. If it is not gone, you select these, you simply uncheck crop region visible if you don't like it. And 3D views can be instead, there is another thing that you need to know, that is 3D views that are isometric can be like floor plans or like sections, can be made bigger or smaller, again by changing the scale. But look, maybe I just want to make these a little bit smaller because I want to fit 3 of them in here. And you know, it should be a little bit smaller. Not now they are, if I select them, they are 1 to 100. I want them to be a little bit smaller, so I should increase a little bit the scale to show them smaller. But if I open this menu, I just see that after 1 to 100, I have 1 to 200. And this will make this drawing too small. So you need also to know that for all of your orthographic and isometric views, you can also change the view scale, but you can select on top, you can select custom, and if you want, you can manually type a number, click apply, and you will discover that in this way you can shrink a little bit, let's say 110. So now this is a little bit smaller. Then I will make these custom 110. Ooh, that's very nice now. And I have all these 3 views that can fit the space that I have. And I don't mind about the scale of 3D viewports because I'm not going to measure things from there. Last but not least is you can't do this into your perspective 3D views or camera views, because if I select this one, there is a perspective, you can see that the scale option is not visible here. So only for perspective viewports you have, and this is only for those, you have to make this slightly more tricky step. That is, you select your perspective / camera view, you click size crop, and instead of changing the field of view, so instead of cropping the image, you have to click scale, and you can adjust the size of the picture in millimeters. So what Revit is telling me right now is that this rectangle, this rectangle right now is from here to here, it is 271 millimeters. From here to here, it is 334 millimeters. So if I click scale, take care, scale, not field of view, because if I change the field of view, it will crop the image. But if I scale it, let's say I want it a little bit bigger, I make it 360, and I have to click apply. 360, apply, boom, and you see that that viewport becomes bigger. I can make it 380, apply, okay, and now this has become bigger, and I can place it here. Fantastic! Look, what a drawing! Then, like anything else in Revit, you can also use aligned dimension, because if you want to say, look, but how far is, let's say, this from here to here? This is the 13, and here to here 15, and so on and so on. Or you can snap things, so when you move your objects, you can perfectly snap your viewport, let's say, to the corner. so that it will perfectly touch that element. Okay? Till here, is everything clear? Because no, there is one last thing that I need to show you, one really last thing, and then, believe it or not, I will answer to the Cosima question. That is probably something that all of you would like to know, that is how many drawings you should do. But till here, is everything clear? Also, I just move my face a little bit up. Oh, perfect. But so if it is super clear, I just need to show you last thing, and then that is how to add renders in your phenomenal printable sheets. There are two ways that are. Let's say I make a new one, new sheets, A2 metric, okay. And you can see also that, by the way, the number is automatically changing. In here, I have two ways to place renders that are. If renders are made inside another software, like 3ds Max, or like 3ds Max, you can simply save your renders as JPEG, and then, let's see if I have renders somewhere. Is this a render? It should be. Let me check it. The JPEG file. Why it's not opening? Okay, forget about opening. So if you have just a picture, you can simply have your drawing. You can simply go to insert here, open it. No, it's not that nice as a render. So wait a second. File Explorer. Let's see if I have some renders. Quickly. Whoa. No. That is weird. Where are my renders? Documents. 3ds Max. Ah, okay. What is here? Okay. Here. These. More. How can I stop this thing? Close OneDrive. Close it. Perfect. Okay, archives. Render output. This Max. Whoa, it's taking forever just for a rendering. 3 seconds. I mean, in the meantime, in the meantime that I wait till this beautiful folder will finally open. So File Explorer again, Documents, 3ds Max, render output, empty. That is so sad. Picture. Okay, even if they are not mine, but let's see. You have made these renders. They are, I mean, not. Some of them are renders, some of them are, let's say, these ugly render here. Okay, So what you want to do is, you have made them in 3ds Max, but how can you include them in your presentation? Nothing easier than going to your drawing, then you go to insert, and you insert an image, and you simply browse your PC to find where your, and I forgot where they are, pictures, yes. So unlucky. Here, copy, here, paste it. No, it's okay. Let's say, you know what do you mean? Because now I will start yelling at my PC. Okay, properties. It is in here. Okay, so you go to insert, image, you go to your folder where there should be pictures, and they are not, so I just place it into the desktop. Okay, insert, image, desktop. The image is there. Yes, this one. Boom, and you add your pictures as external file, which is the only problem of working with external file, and why I'm showing you this. The only problem will be that right now this is a link to a picture that is in my desktop. So what happens will be, if by mistake I delete the original picture from the desktop, or I move it into another folder, what happens will be that I will open my Revit, and in here I will find an empty spot. But if I instead render, let's say this one, but if I render inside Revit, like this, if I render inside Revit, my render, perfect, not that great, but decent. What happens is that when I make my render, I have two options that are, I can click export even from Revit, and I can save it as just a picture file, and it will be saved into my computer as a JPEG, as a TIFF, and whatsoever. But I have a beautiful additional options when I render inside Revit. That is, I can click the button called Save to Project. If I save my render to the project, let's say we'll call it Render Marco, what happens is basically that I will have another view, that is folder, that is called renderings, and inside renderings I can always double click and I will always find my render inside the Revit file itself. So I basically include the picture inside the file itself, and I will never have that possible mistake that is losing the file here and there. And if I want to add it inside my drawing this time, because this is a view that is called render, I double click my page, I right click and I add the view that now is my render, and I place it wherever I want. Okay? And this is the conclusion of how to make beautiful, ready to be printed layout. And I can finally answer the question that all of you know have created suspense, like, ole. That is, Cosima asks, how many plan, section, render, drawings, elevation, things, sketches you want to show? You have to show that there is one answer only. There is, put yourself in the situation that is, you need to imagine that you are your own client and you are displaying your project to the client. So the number of elevations, floor plans, renders, sections, 3D views, cameras, whatever you may create in Revit needs to be enough to explain the entire project. You need to avoid two problems. Problem one, you put not enough drawings, so if you are your client, you will start asking to the designer, okay, but you have made the elevation from north, but there is not the one from the south, so what happens there? And then you say, but okay, but you have made the floor plan, but I can see the side view, so how the garden works, so how the parking works, how this, if you think you have made something that is not visible in your drawing, add a scheme, a drawing, a section, a perspective where that part is readable. So you need to avoid problem one, having less informations than are enough to display the project, but you have also to avoid second problem, that is adding duplicates of same informations just because in Revit it is easy. So in Revit it is completely unuseful to start adding 1, 2, 3, let's say all these sections, because they will tell you more or less all same things. And I know that in Revit it is easy to just click section and you will make the section, but it doesn't make any sense. So to correctly answer to the Cosima question, there is not a right or wrong number or list of drawings that you should add, just place them enough to display the project and not too many to make the project looking just full of unuseful stuff. Is that clear? I know it's more like a philosophical answer. Maybe you would like better to have just do this and that, but you are old enough to be responsible of the quality of the presentation of your project, just without having just a to-do list. Was it clear? Perfect. Also, while I wait to see if some of you have one last question, I just want to point that, I don't know if you have ever noticed it, but it's something that I really like. That is, because I have green eyes, when I look straight into the camera with my beautiful green eyes, my green eyes, because I use green screen, they disappear. And this is creepy. Fantastic. So let me know if you have any additional question, because if not, we will see each other next week, Friday, and I will discuss with you your beautiful final presentation that must be uploaded before next Friday at 11 at least, so that I mean before, I mean 1 hour, couple of hours before, so that I have time enough to download them before starting my live stream, and I can review them. Okay? Yes? No? Maybe? Tell me. Perfect! So, this finishes this class. Started in a dramatic way, but luckily we did it. And thank you so much. Have a good weekend too. I will try to just chill from the stress that I've got this morning when I just arrived here, and you think that you push a button and everything works, and then you see that you can't do anything. So I was really stressed out because I like to make classes on time and so on and so on. So have fun, have a nice weekend, and as usual, have fun, but not too much. Bye, everyone.